Hi viewers, welcome to Shaker's Bio Factory for NEET. If you like this video, subscribe my channel and click on bell icon to get notification. In this video, I am going to explain one of the topic in anatomy of flowering plants. It is secondary growth in dicot stem. In the life cycle of a plant, both primary and secondary growth it takes place with the help of special tissues present in plant body. In this, the primary meristematic tissue it contributes the formation of primary plant body with roots, stem and leaves. Along with that, the secondary meristematic tissue it contributes the formation of secondary growth during growth and development. The primary growth generally it helps to increase the length of the plant body, but in secondary growth it helps to increase the diameter or width of main stem. For the secondary growth, the lateral meristem is also known as secondary meristem. Because of this secondary meristem, it is responsible for secondary growth or to increase the width of the stem or thickness of the main stem. The secondary growth it leads to formation of secondary plant body and it is composed of divisions and differentiation components of the fascicular and interfascicular cambium present in between xylem and phloem of vascular bundles. The secondary meristem or the meristematic tissue generally it is arised from the permanent tissues. Example for this lateral meristem. In vascular bundles of dicot stem, the cambium is present in between xylem and phloem tissues. It is called open type of vascular bundles. And due to presence of this cambium in between xylem and phloem, it responsible for secondary growth in dicot stem. The tissues involved in secondary growth are two types. There are two types of lateral meristematic tissue. In this one is the vascular cambium and another one is cork cambium. The secondary growth occur in dicot stem along with dicot root to grow the width or to increase the diameter of the stem to form woody stem for additional support. The main process of secondary growth occur simultaneously, but it causes by a separate strip of specialized secondary meristematic tissue. It is called cambium. It is present in between xylem and phloem of vascular bundles. And in this stele, the secondary growth it is initiated by vascular cambium. Along with that, in cortex, the secondary growth is initiated by cork cambium. The secondary growth generally it occur in stem and root of dicots and gymnosperms, but all plants never perform such type of secondary growth. In a dicot stem, the secondary growth it occurs simultaneously in both stele and cortex. Depending upon this, the secondary growth changes occur in two stages. In this, the first stage is intrastellar changes. Second stage is extrastellar changes. First stage, intrastellar changes. So all changes related to secondary growth which take place inside of the stele are called intrastellar changes. In this, the first step is formation of cambial ring. Second step is activity of cambial ring. Third step is annual rings formation. And fourth step is heartwood and sapwood. In this, the first step, formation of cambial ring. So, in the structure of a dicot stem, the vascular bundles are present in the form of a ring. It is called eustele. and these vascular bundles are present around the central pith, and every vascular bundle is conjoined and open type with cambium in between xylem and phloem tissues. The cambium of vascular bundles is called fascicular cambium or intravascular cambium. But during secondary growth, some of the cells which are present in between vascular bundles in the form of medullary rays, they can form some new cambium. It is called intervascular cambium. So both this intravascular cambium present in vascular bundles, intervascular cambium present in between two vascular bundles of medullary rays, both are fused to form a continuous ring in between vascular bundles is called cambial ring. The second step is activity of cambial ring. The cambial ring becomes active and they can perform cell divisions to form new cells by periclinal divisions. So periclinal divisions leads to the formation of cells at the lateral side. At this time, the cambium, it is the C represents cambium. When it becomes active, they can divide and produce new cells on both sides of the cambial ring. At this time, cambium ring, it can form a new cells towards outside of the cambial ring. It becomes into phloem and inside it becomes into xylem. So the newly formed cells from cambial ring towards pith, they can mature to becomes into secondary xylem. In this way, towards cambium inside, xylem cells are formed continuously. Along with that, the new cells which are formed towards outside of the cambial ring, they becomes into secondary phloem. With this activity, cambium ring can produce xylem towards inside of the ring, phloem towards outside of the ring. So due to activity of cambium ring, so more secondary xylem is formed towards inner side of the cambium, but outside of the cambium ring, less amount of secondary phloem is formed. So the cambium is generally more active on inner side than outer side. That result in the formation of more amount of secondary xylem towards inside, less amount of secondary phloem towards outside of the cambium ring. So the primary and secondary phloem which are formed towards outside of the cambium ring, they gradually crushed due to the continuous formation and accumulation of secondary xylem. So the primary xylem remain more or less intact in or around the central page. The secondary xylem keep increasing in amount, and primary and secondary phloem present at peripheral, these are gradually crushed. At some places of cambium, they can form some parenchymatous ray-like structures. These are passed through secondary xylem and secondary phloem. These are called secondary medullary rays. Both primary and secondary medullary rays, they helps to conduct water, food and minerals from center to peripheral organs. The third step is annual ring formation. The activity of cambium ring is not uniform throughout the year due to variations in external environment along with the climate as well as internal environmental factors. So in temperate regions, the climatic conditions are not uniform throughout the year, that leads to the formation of two types of wood and it becomes into annual rings, especially in spring season. In spring season, a tree can produce more number of young leaves. Due to having of more number of new leaves, it need more absorption of water from soil with the help of root system. In the spring season, the cambium having more activity. At this time, they can produces large number of auxiliary elements having vessels with a wider cavity. Now, such type of xylem which is formed in spring season is referred to as spring wood or early wood. The spring wood, generally it is a lighter in color. Along with that, due to having of wider lumen in xylem elements, they are having lower density. But in winter season, so due to more humidity in atmosphere, no need to absorb more water from root system. At this time, the cambium activity it become less and form a fewer auxiliary elements that have narrow vessels and it becomes into wood is called atom wood. It is also called as late wood. So this atom wood is dark in color and having higher density due to having of narrow lumen in xylem. Such type of two kinds of wood that appears as alternative concentric rings and it constitute annual rings in dicot stem. One annual ring. It consists of one circle of spring wood and one circle of atom wood. One more important feature. In trees, the age of the tree can be estimated by counting these annual rings. And for example, here if 2 is there, 2 annual rings are there, that age become 2 years, 4 years, 6 annual rings 6 years, like this 24 annual rings, that is 24 years. In this way, by counting the number of annual rings in its structure, the age of the tree is estimated by a branch is called dendrochronology. The fourth step is heartwood and sapwood. In case of older trees, the greater part of secondary xylem, which is present at center, it is a dark brown due to deposition of various organic compounds like tannins, resins, oils, gums along with aromatic and essential substances in the center or innermost layer of the stem. It is called heartwood. The reason of heartwood, it cannot conduct water due to deposition of all these organic compounds, and this reason it become hard, durable and have resistant to attack various microbes including insects, so that the heartwood which is present at center it give mechanical support to stem. But the peripheral region or newly formed xylem or secondary xylem, it is lighter in color due to absence of such organic acids. That's why the lighter portion present at peripheral is called sapwood. Sapwood is actively involved in conduction of water and minerals from root to leaf in older stem. During secondary growth, the sapwood, which is formed at peripheral due to deposition of these organic acids, they becomes into heartwood. The second major change, that is extrastellar changes. In this, the first step is formation and activity of cambium ring. So the continuous increasing the width of the main stem, it result in the rupture of outer layers of epidermis or outer cortical layers. Due to this, new protective cell layer are provided by the other lateral meristematic cambium. It is called cork cambium. This cork cambium is also called as phellogen. So during secondary growth, the meristematic tissue which develops usually in cortex region, it is called cork cambium or phellogen. The phellogen or cork cambium having a couple of layer of thickness of cells, and it is made up of narrow, thin walled and nearly rectangular cells. The outer cell of the phyllogen, it can differentiate it into cork or phellome towards outside of the cork cambium ring, and the cork which is formed towards outside of the cambium ring, it is impervious to water due to having of suberin deposition in its cell wall. At the same time, the inner cell are differentiated into secondary cortex or phylloderm. Already primary cortex is present, but some more cortex is formed from phyllogen or cork cambium ring is called phylloderm. The cells of secondary cortex are parenchymatous. Along with that, phyllogen, phellome, and phylloderm, all these three layers are collectively referred to as periderm. So, due to activity of cork cambium, pressure build up on the remaining layers of peripheral to phyllogen, and ultimately these layers it will be die and slug off from their surface, and all tissues which are present outside of the vascular cambium ring is referred to as bark. In this bark, the bark it mainly consists of layers of periderm like phyllogen, phellome, phylloderm, along with that primary cortex, pericycle, and primary and secondary phloem. All this becomes into bark on the surface of the stem. So bark which is formed at earlier seasons, it is called early or soft bark, and towards the end of the season, late or hard bark is formed during secondary growth. One more important feature, lenticle formation. On the surface of the stem, at a few locations, the phyllogen cut off closely arranged parenchymatous cells on the outer side of the cork cells. It is called lenticle. These parenchyma cells soon rupture the epidermis and forming a lens-shaped opening. It is called lenticles. In lenticle, the cells are loosely arranged with a thin cell-walled parenchymatous cells with more or numerous intercellular spaces, and it is referred to as lenticle. It is formed in suberized cork cells. Instead of the suberized cork cells, lenticle consists of thin cell-walled parenchymatous cells. These thin-walled cells, which are now produced instead of a thick-walled cork cells, are referred to as complementary cells. They having thin cell wall and loosely arranged. The lenticles helps to permit the gases exchange in between outer surface and internal tissue of the stem. It is the main function of lenticle, and this lenticle can lose very little bit amount of water in the form of transpiration. So these are the features of secondary growth in dicot stem. Secondary growth is the main characteristic feature of dicot stem. Thanks for watching.